Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with Team Euphoric, and this is day 3 of the 80 Days to Your Dream Body. And today, I'm going to be taking you through the anatomy of the muscles involved for each of the exercises when we are performing the leg and ab routine. Let's get started. 3, 4, and 5. We're going to rest 60 seconds, and while we are resting, we're going to go over a little bit of the anatomy involved in this exercise. As I mentioned, the main emphasis is going to be the vastus medialis, which is one of the quadriceps muscle. Because we're doing knee extension, we're going to get all of the quadriceps involved, not just the vastus medialis. That's just the emphasis. But we're also getting the vastus lateralis, vastus intermedius, and the rectus femoris. And at the hip, because we are getting a little bit of hip extension, the muscles involved in hip extension are going to be the gluteus maximus, the hamstrings group, most of them. We have the semimembranosus, semitendinosus, the long head of the biceps femoris, the short head of the biceps femoris. That's not going to be involved because that just crosses the knee, it does not cross the hip. And then also the posterior fibers of the adductor magnus are going to be involved, and some accessory muscles that are going to be involved are going to be the posterior fibers of both the gluteus medius and minimus. But that is pretty much it for the rest. We've got 10 seconds, so let's go ahead and get set up. And we're going to start with the front foot elevated low pulley cable split squat. Last one, 2, 3, hold, 12. All right, we are going to rest 60 seconds. And while we're resting, we're going to get into the anatomy of what exactly is being trained with this exercise. And first, we're going to focus at the core. At the core, because of the opposite arm and leg combo, this is going to be absolutely terrific for spinal stabilization. And some of the spinal stabilizers that are being trained are going to be the multifidus, the erector spinae group, so your iliocostalis, longissimus, and your spinalis. Also, we are going to be training your transverse abdominis, your internal oblique, external oblique, the quadratus lumborum, which is really, really important, especially for people with low back pain. Also, we are going to be training the rotatories, the intertransverse spinalis, and the intertransversary. One other thing that we're going to be training also is going to be the diaphragm. The diaphragm, it is going to be very, very important, especially for creating that intra-abdominal pressure. But those are just a few of the muscles involved at the core. And during the next rest period, we're going to talk about what's going on at the hip, knee, and ankle, because this is also a terrific exercise for the hip, knee, and ankle, especially for creating stability there. So if you have any issues with low back pain, hip, knee, or ankle pain, definitely give this a try. But rest is up. Let's move back to the other exercise. And while we're resting, let's talk about what exactly is going on at the hip, knee, and ankle during the front foot elevated low pulley cable split squat. At the hip, we are focusing on extension. And because of the opposite arm leg combo, we're also doing hip abduction. So the hip extensors, that's going to be the gluteus maximus and most of the hamstring muscles, the semimembranosus, semitendinosus, the long head of the biceps femoris, but not the short head because that only crosses the knee. And then we're also focusing on the posterior fibers of the adductor magnus as well as the posterior fibers of the gluteus medius and minimus. For hip abduction, we're going to be focusing on the gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, the tensor fasciae lati muscle, and also the superior fibers of the gluteus maximus muscle, as well as the sartorius. And in certain positions, we're going to be training the piriformis. Then at the knee, we are focusing on knee extension. So that's going to be the quadriceps group, the vastus medialis, vastus lateralis, vastus intermedius, and the rectus femoris. And then at the ankle, we are doing ankle plantar flexion. So that's going to be the gastrocnemius, the soleus, the plantaris, the tibialis posterior, the flexor hallucis longus, the flexor digitorum longus, and the peroneus longus and brevis. But rest is up. On to the last set. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. Be sure to like, share, and leave a comment as it'll help the algorithm. And if you enjoyed the content, show your support by subscribing to the channel by clicking on the icon in the bottom right corner. And if you really want to show your support, then consider becoming a member by clicking on the icon in the bottom left corner. These new high-quality videos aren't cheap to edit, and the $5 membership will really help with the video editing budget. You'll also get access to a ton of exclusive perks like early access to videos and this program design lecture playlist in the top right-hand corner. And if you want to learn how to do a one-armed pull-up, then check out the playlist on the top left corner.